there are very few players that as soon as you turn on the tape, you can just tell they're going to be a very good NFL player, or you're just going to tell they're going to be special. And Siaki Apu-Ika is going to be that guy. Yes, I know that's a mouth. That's definitely an interesting name, but let me be very, very clear here. Ika is going to be a very special player in the NFL as well. So his name is going to definitely transpire into being the player that he's going to be, or something like that. Anyway, so you see him here as a two-year player there for LSU before transferring over to Baylor, being an absolute man in the middle there. 24 total tackles his junior year, 6 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. Coming back, his sophomore year, now junior year with Baylor. If you want to get all technical about it, the exact same number of tackles. Man just gets after it. But I also had 2 tackles for loss, no sacks. But he's a guy that the more you watch him on tape, I mean, he just takes up the running lane. Gives you a little bit in the pass game too to like arguably make him a player that you could have on for all 3 downs. So, but he's just an absolute dude. He eats up double teams. He absolutely just takes care of business. And I think that Siaki Apu-Ika is going to be a very special player in the NFL. Now there are 3 teams that need to draft him. I think that 3 teams need to stop messing around. They need to go get their guy that could really help their running game, their defensive running game, that is, and help them just take care of business in that regard. And I think the first team you got to think about when you're talking about helping out the running game is the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers, let's be real. I know some things, Sebastian Joseph Day, Austin Johnson, all those guys. Like there were some guys that really stepped up for the Chargers last year, but Siaki Apu-Ika would immediately transform their running attack on defense and help them to be to stopping the run. Like he would immediately come in, be a starter, do a lot of different things for their defense. They've already got edge players. They've already got some good guys on defense. Justin Herbert, I hope he gets his offensive coordinator that he absolutely deserves. But at the end of the day, the Chargers would immediately upgrade their defense by bringing in Ika, who would not only eat up double teams, but I think he could give you a little bit of something on those passing downs as well. So definitely a guy you would want to keep on for potentially all 3 plays during an NFL defense type of a drive situation. Now, team number 2 that I think needs to definitely take a flyer on Ika is the Las Vegas Raiders. So I don't know where Ika is going to go. The thing is Ika is going to go anywhere from that, that 24 to like 40 range, because he's a first round talent. He absolutely is. He's a first round run stuffer. He reminds me a lot of Vita Vea for the Buccaneers. Like he's just a guy that you look at him, you don't think he's going to bring a lot in the pass, but the Raiders need him both. They need a run stuffer, they need a pass rusher, and I think Ika is going to be that guy you have to take a flyer on. You got to help out this defense. Like this defense, I know that Derek Carr and everything else kind of going on with the Raiders right now, you want to look at him and say, okay, yes, Derek Carr's out of the building. You want to get your future quarterback, or maybe just stick with Jarrett Stidham. At the end of the day, it has been a minute since the Raiders have had a really good defense, and I think Ika helps start to solve that problem in Las Vegas. And so I think that a guy like Siaki Apu-Ika is a player that the Raiders need to take a flyer on, and I think that they would foolish not to be at least considerate of it, because I know they're picking at 7. I think they could, find a way to maneuver down and still get a quarterback. I'm not sure who that would, potentially be, Anthony Richardson or whoever it's going to be, but at the end of the day, if you can get Richardson, Ika, that's a pretty good draft. And then finally, I think the third team that needs to take a flyer on Siaki Apu-Ika is the Minnesota Vikings. Absolutely. Like, I know that at the end of the day, you have Harrison Phillips. You also have Delvin Tomlinson that is there. Oh, sorry, that is trademarked by the Purple for the Win podcast. But you have Delvin Tomlinson there that is just an absolute stud. I feel like he's more of a 4-3, 3-tech, excuse me. So at the end of the day, I would just really hope that the Vikings take this very seriously in terms of going out and getting their defensive tackle that would help them take care of some this problems with running the football and defending against the run. Like, it's been absolutely rough. I know that we saw some good things at times from that run defense for the Vikings, but I mean, Ika would be an immediate upgrade over anybody the Vikings got. I think he needs to be on their radar because I think that especially with what he brings in the running game, but also as a passer, he's going to be a really fun player to watch moving forward. So but let us know what you guys think about the 3 teams that need to draft Baylor defensive tackle Siaki Apu-Ika. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truly awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a like and sub on iTunes and a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the 3 teams, Trace, that need to draft Baylor defensive tackle Siaki Apu-Ika.